Right, somebody sent me Ivan Wade's. Appreciate the PayPal. I really do appreciate it. Then the super thanks, Jeremy Stewart 1785 sending cool comments and a super thanks. Then we have at Michael Van Kurt supporting many videos. I definitely do appreciate the support and love you show to all the videos I make. Then we have at Johnny Haberfield 721. Appreciate the cool comment. And yes, RC Guy Garage does throw Xmaxx's away. Then we have at Michael Van Kurt. Seems he's having the same problem, same noise with one of his Xmaxx's a couple years ago and really couldn't get the noise to go away. Then we have at Hajile. Thanks for the cool comment. I really do appreciate it. God bless to you as well. Now on to today's video. Alright, welcome back. So, yesterday's video, you guys saw the teardown of this. Basically, the front differential was making noise. I don't really see any issues with it. What I don't understand is on this pinion, this pinion can slide in and out without anything locking it into place. The only thing really holding it into place is this drive shaft. So it seems like the gear is what's holding this thing back. So I don't really understand it. I don't know if that's what's causing the issue. If this thing could move forward, tighten up the mesh, it can move back, loosen up the mesh. Or is it relying on the housing to keep it at the proper, mesh? So I do have the new one in there. But I'm just not understanding how it's supposed to work and how it's not supposed to move around, make noise. I don't understand. But it is what it is. That's probably why most of these things sound different, because they're not meshed the same every time you run it, I guess is what you could say. Because driving forward, it could be trying to pull this diff out. Just trying to grease it a little bit. Just using, rather than white lithium grease, I'm using a multi-purpose high temp grease. Not like it really needs to be high temp. And that sounds nice and quiet. So what I'm going to do is bolt the cover back on and see if the noise goes away. I don't have the diff cups in it, but the nice thing is on the Xmaxx is that there's a bolt on the outside that holds the diff cups on. So that's why Traxxas sends it to you this way. I take it. Short bolt that goes here in the center, and the rest are the same, all the same length. So it's came with new bearings, new everything with this diff. And that's something else I love about Traxxas, is whenever you buy a part, they literally give you everything. So it seems Seems nice and quiet now. So I'm going to take these diff cups off. Because we need these. Then I'm going to just throw this greasy mess with the bearings into this bag along with the pinion and the bearings. I do have the 2085X for the steering servo. There's your spring and rod. I'm probably going to do that now while I have this apart, at least put the spring and the rod in there, because that's really going to tighten up the steering and all the slop. But I think that needs to be done with the servo because of the internal gears. If you run this spring and this rod with this steering servo, I believe it'll strip out. Take that screw out, slide that in there. Sure, there's probably an easier way of doing this. Making sure it's tight. You can hear these are squeaky. So this has a screw down the center, and that screw, some say, loosens up. Because it's just screwing into plastic. You can see all the sand and grit in there. See all the sand? Because the Ultimates come with this servo, from my understanding. So we're going to grab the spring. This is a 2085X. Pull off this spring. Put on the heavy duty spring. I think eventually I'm going to go to the aluminum bell crank here. We're going to grab this, 4 screws. So this bearing here is, somebody pointed out, I think his name was John, that the servo horn tip of it sticks out and it supports the servo horn. So that's what this bearing is for. Making sure your bearing's in here. When you work on so many RCs, you get lost going from manufacturer to manufacturer because they all do it a little different. Take a listen. That's 100% quieter. I don't know why. I don't want to call Traxxas until I know 100% that it was the issue. Need like a dry silicone spray. So this assembly is together. So now what I need to do, can't believe how many parts I've had to change, is I need to replace this servo, which means we're going to have to pull the lid. Pull the cover off. Gotta pull this other cover off too. So that we can get to the steering one. Which is in the first slot. Three screws. Yep, there's a little slot that goes straight down. So 3 screws. We're gonna have to power it up to center the servo. And I'm just replacing this to get better steering as an upgrade, not because the servo failed. I'm literally just replacing it as an upgrade. Alright. Now we gotta get this down in here. 90-degree pick really helps for these connectors, pulling them through. And then black to the outside in the first slot. There we go. That's all back together. Now I have to get some batteries in the controller and center this so that I can install this. My spare parts. So now I'm going to grab some batteries, grab the controller, and then we're going to center the steering servo. Go ahead and stick the drive shaft in. Make sure that that piece is in your end. They tend to fall out. The rear feels just so much smoother than the front. See if that's the right way. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to give it a run just to make sure the noise is gone, and that'll confirm if it's fixed or not. Install our Cush drive in our pinion. So we're going to go ahead, put some grease on the Cush drive, gear, we're almost there. I have a feeling I'm going to have to pull apart the back too. Yep, Cush drive has also got a problem, but the front diff is quiet now. Alright, so I did some investigation while the camera was off, and I've got it shimmed up right now. What's going on is this cover right here is pushing the Cush drive somehow too far down, and the idler gear in the back is putting a lot of pressure on the center diff. Why? I don't know. I don't know what's changed. I don't know if there's a flaw in the casting of the like rear section of the chassis, or if it's not the cover, it could be that the bearings on this Cush drive shaft are a little snug, or the dimensions have changed a little bit over time with Traxxas. But I'm going to plug it in right now because I've got it shimmed up, rolling smooth again. And we're going to go ahead and see if this noise is gone. I figure I kick on the camera in case it's fixed, or in case it's not fixed. You never know. Steering's working. I've got to shim this up a little bit. See how the sound changes? Something's going on funny back there. And I'm not sure what it is, but it's something funny. I'm going to try changing out the bearings on the Cush drive and see if I know the bearings aren't bad, but they're literally going too far down for some reason. And they're putting a lot of pressure on that rear idler into the center diff. There's no play in the bearing. I'm going to see if I can put a bigger bearing in here. We'll be right back. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why there's a shimming issue, but tightening down this rear corner, it's definitely putting a lot of pressure on it. So I think I'm gonna order, I don't know, I think it needs something to do with the chassis right there. I think there's a problem with the mold, is my best guess. That's that high-low pitch sound that we've been getting in the videos. And the front diff definitely was an issue. But that's where the noise is coming from. It's not the pinion and spur, it's literally the idler. There's some sort of issue that that this RC has right there. I don't know how many RCs are having this problem. But I know over time with the molding process things will change. And I think somehow it's getting a little tight there. Or, like I said, it could be just the bearing size diameter changed. It needs just a little taller bearing. So I'm going to mic out some bearings and see if I can find a little taller bearing to stick in there so I can eliminate the shims. But I need to get that spur gear, that idler gear in the back away from the differential. So that's what's going on. That's why this RC's been so noisy. I'm, very confident in what the problem is. Now I just got to find some sort of solution. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.